Satan didn't make metal.
They're both trying to do the same thing, but with different methods, and it's totally clashing.
Our church pretty much divided over, conflicts between, older generation and the newer generation's thoughts, because our pastor is a new generation pastor.
What seems like a spiritual thing for one person might seem not that at all for another person, and certainly people from different generations have different preferences.
And if you're worshiping Jesus, the Bible says pretty much that all this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter as long as you're praising Jesus.
We might not win over a lot of the older generation, but we will bring a lot more of the newer generation into the same belief system.
And if that exists in a particular church, it's very difficult to have an effective outreach, because you're trying to communicate a message of forgiveness and love, and you can't even forgive and love each other.
Some of those older Christians aren't, if they're doing this inside the church, how are they going to get past it outside of the church by helping a community?
The whole body is working towards a goal, and they have one mindset, then definitely they can reach far. But if you have conflictions between between it, it's just not going to nearly get near as far.
I don't think it'll be as effective as it needs to be. I think you can still have individuals and small groups, or even larger groups that are speaking into their culture, whatever age group that is, that can be effective. But I think as the church and as being an overall community outreach, then you have to resolve those issues of how to do that.
Of course, Christian death metal music, it's still worship, because you're still, listening to the message of the song, which is praising Jesus.
Hymnals aren't everybody's taste. Praise and worship aren't everybody's taste. And if you're trying to reach out to a group of people, what better way to do it than in some form of something that they like?
But they've come in with a mentality to try to meet God, and the lyrics and or the music helps them do that. And I think any kind of style can be very conducive to worship.
Just because we have a different style of music where it sounds aggressive and sounds demonic, it doesn't mean that it is. It's just a style.
Yeah, it can certainly be a form of worship. Worship is about your heart. It's not about style or form. It's about what's going on inside you.
It changes the first impression, not as in a negative or positive impression. It changes hopefully my understanding, or where maybe some starting ground is of what conversations can go. So it doesn't change my opinion on whether or not they're godly or ungodly, or if they're Christian or not Christian. That doesn't change. It's more of when you have somebody in a three-piece suit and no piercings and no tattoos and stuff, they usually come from a different place. And so you want to make sure when you're speaking to people or trying to do life together, that you try to meet them where they are. And so some of the indicators of tattoos and piercings, and or not tattoos and piercings, and short haircuts and stuff like that can help you with a starting place, but it should by no means, in my spirit at least, and the people that I usually hang with, that makes no big whoop at all.
No matter what people's appearances lend to your first impression of them, I suppose I would hope that wouldn't change my first impression of people, and I don't know that it does, but I've never given it much thought.
I always just, I don't label myself as Baptist, Presbyterian, or any kind of label like that. I always just, it's just like, the Bible's the Bible, like the King James Version, not some of the new stuff that, kind of like edits things or makes things sound, happy or whatever. But what the Bible says is what the Bible says, regardless of who you are. That's what I believe in.
I see myself as a Christian. I know I am a Christian 100%. I don't like the way Christians are perceived, because I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not going to ride up to your house on a bike and ask you if I can come in and show you the Bible. I do it in my own ways.
I consider myself to be a believer in Jesus Christ. I want to be a follower of Him. That's my desire. I don't achieve that in some days the way I wish that I would, but my heart is to try and be as much like Him as I can day by day.
whole idea of just being a follower of Jesus, with what that means from the biblical context is. No, I'm trying not to say I'm not a denomination or am a denomination, but I'm finding more and more nowadays that even the word Christian isn't so positive anymore. So I try to constantly, even my message, you'll see me say, instead of, are you following Christian guidelines, to more, are you a follower of Jesus Christ? And so I would it's definitely, a Judeo-Christian belief system, but more to the roots of, are you walking the walk and talking the talk?
I'm an atheist.
Eye to Eye is based on a song that March Till Morning wrote called Eye to Eye. And it follows the same concept, that we feel that without these inner struggles within the church being mended, that we can't effectively reach out to the world around us. We wanted to get some interviews to kind of help prove that and almost validate ourselves into believing we're not crazy. So this next song not only goes out to all those Christians that feel misunderstood, but all the other people that need to understand.